fire on the top of the South Mountain is about to go out. Shallow and deep snow in the North Sea. Poor cool breeze has no vision. Snow knife, who Zhongbing was originally talking about martial arts, 4 magic weapons of the world. Let's talk about it today. The story surrounding the owners of these weapons. Dr. Dormitory. Wing Ken, the chief strategist of the World Association with a pale face, holding a small fan. Straight through the martial arts boys and the gold-armored guards, and holding a string of large Buddha beads next to him. Warlock and Ni Bodhisattva praise each other. Come and meet the first martial arts gang. The world will help Xiong. I saw a male headman wearing a hanging robe. The temple is full. Sincere but strong. Ni Bodhisattva is the #1 soldier in the world. The hero of the day. The decisive battle with the martial arts master is imminent. Retired and found the mud Bodhisattva to ask the holy calculation. Facing the ambition of Xiong to unify the rivers and lakes. Nip blinked his flying eyes. It is said that this battle may continue. Wait another 10 years. Subsequently, we sent a series of orders for this tyrant. What is written on it is the Jinling notice pool. When the situation changes, what Long Juni Bodhisattva said, Xiongba's to future disciples. One of the names is Windy, one with clouds. 2 people can help Xiongba be invincible in the world for the first half of his life. It was actually sent to Qiangkun again. Roy 5 Elements Great Sword. I'm not right. Qiangkun Roy 5 Elements Treasure Box. It contains the desperation of Xiongba in the second half. Requires a hero to ride on immunity. 108 days after all the dry and earth branches are put together to open, and the fates of the 5 changed as a result. The camera aims at the amethyloid that has come to Hangzhou. Xiongba's subordinates have already put Ni Bodhisattva first. Birthday 8 characters. Move martial arts. About to stir the world. Bu Jingyun, one of the changes in the fate of martial arts. At this moment, he is living comfortably with his father in Bu Jingyun. Father made a living by forging swords. But because of this peerless casting, good sword. Finally, it caused Bu Jingyun to suffer the disaster of extinction. It will be besieged to death by the world. Ian claims. I would rather be a broken jade than a complete tile. He said that he had already destroyed the peerless sword. And at this time, the young Bu Jingyun is arrogant and cold. King seems ruthless. Witnessed the murder of his father and relatives, but didn't shed a single tear. Then he was taken away from the cup by the people of the world. Bloody? Pretend that in the future he will be known as the god of death who does not cry. Resound with joy. Nie Feng, one of the wind and clouds. He traveled with his father, the Hunter King, to the vicinity of the great Buddha. Young Ni, Wind has not seen his mother for more than 2 years. This also allows. The Hunter King remembered the main bamboo forest, shot by a bully. Ask for the past of blood-led running. Nanshan Ridge is on fire. Shallow and deep snow in the North Sea draws cold. It was Xiongba who forced the Hunter King to kill for the snow. In the end, the Hunter King was defeated with bamboo and a knife. It also caused his wife to be taken away by Xiongba. From memory. After waking up, the Hunter King brought Ni Feng came to Lingyan Library at the foot of the Buddha. I plan to fight again with a blood-fueled knife this time. Xiongba. When going to war, the Hunter King canon just found out. The wife had already been with Xiongba. Collusion. He has already become a red star, willing to obey Xiongba, and Xiongba abandoned the other party like a strand. It's all about sucking. Draw each other out. Blood addiction mania stunt, and she was outraged. Surrendered in front of his son Ni Feng. And King Ni also lost a battle because of this, with a bloody knife. Devoured by the fire unicorn in this Lingyan cave, Ni who became an orphan. The wind is also because of father and Xiongba. The agreement before the decisive battle. Brought back by Xiongba, the world will raise. Then it's the world. The first big gang will be dominated by General Station of the World Association. Declared that martial arts are subject to Ni Feng. Qin Shuang is his peer disciple. Awarded the cloud head respectively. Feng Shen retreat skylight right. Just the writing. FEIJ sent the completed letter. I saw that it said to fight with you. Failure to postpone delivery is promised. Resolve life and death. Niposa is seriously ill. It also makes Xiongba believe that he has the situation in hand. Sports that dominate Tianxiahui. Time goes by. 10 years pass by in a hurry. Bu Jingyun has been ranked among Fei Yunting. The teacher was born under the waterfall. Hone your physique. Ascetic martial arts. After growing up, do not operate French color. Blue and black incense. He is as cold as ice and unsmiling. But he cares for little junior sister Kong Xi, and this time, the world will be in the Forbidden area. As the thorn of the mighty weaver girl, falling in love with Ni Feng, senior brother Laoshan. The animals are holding hands for the two at the door. A handsome and powerful Ni Feng holds a folding fan. It can be called a stranger like Jade. Gongzi peerless. Within the Forbidden area, firefly dance. Colorful. A pair of boys and girls are in love here. So romantic. Inside the World Bath Hall. Xiongba has suffered for many years. Open you up to saturation. Send out the big brother. Qin Shuang and Ni Feng went out to find the Earth Bodhisattva, and not Jingyun was sent to sneak into Peerless City. kill the city lord alone, while bringing back the peerless sword. Xiongba's daughter Whole Porcelain is playful. I don't like the monotonous life in the World Association. Decided to follow Ni Feng and others out, finding the Buddha. After marriage, you can't help yourself. Ni Feng and Conthorn once entered if they tried their best, sitting alone on this cornice, after thinking for a moment, but entered Confucius' room at night, have a sweaty workout with each other. Days later, Duguming, the lord of Xiao City in Peerless City, lead people to hunt down the eminent monk of Shaolin. It was Wuzun who happened to catch up with his granddaughter, in front of an old man, Jiang, who people are called Bodhisattva. Catastrophe first. What several people call is robbery, the fire in the hands of the world, just when the two sides are at war. But I saw a gust of wind. Ni Feng drives the whirlwind slowly falling in the air, waving a folding fan. Just stepped on the fiery red cage. I saw this Qin suit swaying his fists, ice crack, wind on both legs. In the blink of an eye, the defeat was cleared up. The people of Peerless City, even the 15 who make good use of the palm of the Tathagata, neither Ni Feng's opponent. Although the fire was eventually poisoned. Take it first. However, Qin Shuang Hu Ren grabbed Ni Feng. It turned out that he had already seen through the old theater. Wang's identity. The other party is the most incognito mud Bodhisattva. Deposa said that he had leaked many secrets in his life, covered with sores. Only he can cure. So he asked Ni Feng and the two to tour for him, and in the Peerless City not far apart, Wu Junchang's helpers are leaving the city lord alone. On party's 60th birthday director Yin, who wants Pudding Cloud with his subordinates. For more dive into it. Beheaded Dug Yifeng. Took away the great sword of Wushuang. Save your life and destroy Wushuang City. The next day, after city lord Xiao Duguming went home, I just found out that my house was destroyed. Grief. I'm squatting next to it, and have the ability to destroy this door overnight. Only the world will be the largest gang in the world, and be done. Ni Feng and his party on the other side. At this time, I just came to the foot of Lingyan Cave. I heard that there is blood in this Lingyan Cave. Cure all diseases. Ni Feng said to himself, his father worked with. Lanling archers died together in Lingyan Cave, sensing to people. The mud Bodhisattva who does not know the truth. I'm afraid it's time to talk to yourself. I hope that you can bring their granddaughter, find a foster home, who wants to just go ashore. At this time, the mud Bodhisattva was taken away by a black man. Even this temple hall. All Master Headwind is not the enemy of the other party's move. It is the world that will help Xiongba, carrying the mud Bodhisattva, had to unravel the saturation. At this time, the criticism of Xiongba for the rest of his life finally emerged. The sky is like a cloud and changes every day. Wine and cloud meeting Thousand Waters tour. As the heedman of 82, he instinctively combines poetry, suspicion of the two, as the so-called Chen Fengyan. Defeat. Are you going to be defeated by these two disciples? Don't want to live in Confucius' boudoir. He embroidered a handkerchief for both of them at the same time. Simple him. Excited for such a small thing. This matter completes the task of Bu Jingyun. Come back with the great sword of Wushuang. 4 heroes in the rivers and lakes today. 1 sword, 3 swords. The blood-led frenzied sword is still in Lingling Cave. The peerless sword is missing. The remaining fire spirit sword and silent sword. It's all in the hands of Xiongba. Kong Xi's matter appears here, claiming not to be smart. I still owe him 19 stones to step on. At the same time, Ni Feng and Shuang and the two also came back together to report their lives. In the face of 2 failures, Xiongba not only did not blame. Instead, Ni Feng and Confucius made a marriage contract. The company immediately became uneasy in the face of the marriage contract. Because he doesn't know what love is. When he knew he was deep, love the wind and cloud duo, and Pudding Cloud after learning of the marriage. Love him deeply. Naturally, he was increasingly dissatisfied with Xiongba. As a result, the relationship between the two became more and more powerful. Soon, the wedding of Ni Feng and Kong Xia will be held. Countless guests have all come to the world to congratulate. A dragon with magical powers in its left arm. He also brought Chu Chu to the front of the World Congress. The other side is in my daughter's boudoir. Xiongba versus Kong Xia. Nine Dao does not pursue himself. Peerless martial arts and the false reputation of being the best in the world. I just want my daughter to be happy. Obviously a fatherly appearance. And the other side. Qin Shuang, the eldest senior brother who also likes Confucius. The guests mistook it for the groom, and being ashamed. However, as a teacher, I only hope that Confucius can be happy at this time. The last disciple is not British. This is like venting and can cultivate under the waterfall. Who would think that when the wedding reception is about to take place, Zhegu Ming, who was exterminated, suddenly broke in. It turns out that he has already won the martial arts master sword saint. And my father. I came here today to convey tactics. Jianqing and Zhongba will be held at the beginning of autumn. A decisive wedding reception just wanted to go on as usual. But who wants to worship before? Feiyun Hall Master Bu Jingyun broke into the Tang Dynasty again. He first knocked down Qin Shuang who was blocked by heaven. Another one stole Kong's Nie Feng. I wanted to stop it. But only a small part of Kong's heart was left. Xiong Ba at this time sees this. I had no choice but to chase it out with my internal force. After chasing outside the cabin, Bear Baby looked at the situation again. The relationship between the two was a long battle against the wind god. The world is falling apart. Inseparable, the beloved daughter who scolded this matter, planned to ambush a colleague and kill them both, but sacrificed his name for the thorn on the side. Fall down, tired. Xiong Ba killed his precious daughter by mistake for himself. It was consent. Body brought by the walking cloud that was unwilling to accept the death of Confucius. Killed into the palace of the hero king. Intending to snatch this peerless West, I went to the ice for 1,000 years, in order to preserve the relics of Confucius. Your skills without clouds. How many people in the world can be stumped? After some competition, finally won the 1,000-year-old ice soul. Confucius, who had a dry face, suddenly felt energetic, blooming out of a mysterious sword. Only then did the robber Jingyun of the Ministry of War buried the thorns in the thick mausoleum. Long sorrow and love are pinned on the quarry, into empty hands. Just at this moment, Xiong Ba suddenly appears to snatch sarcasm again. Too bad I'm not smart, because this row of clouds grows in no water. Your ability is greatly limited. He was beaten to death by Dad Bear. Finally, the left arm was injured by the 3 points of the male hemp. Unfortunately, he did not hesitate to amputate his left arm. Just now, he used his blood to stimulate the ability to expel clouds. Finally, the bear was temporarily trapped in the cave. He escaped first and was seriously injured. Step Jingyun after coma. Xinger was left everywhere by the divine doctor for her daughter. Pity everywhere. Bu Jingyun sighed that he was in the world that day. Be so infatuated with Confucius, and help but let this innocent girl treat him. Fall in love. This TDB fire poisoning attack. It seems that it can no longer be integrated with itself. He knew that maybe fate had arrived. Decided to exchange this unicorn arm for the walking cloud, and got the non-spiritual nut of its arm. The skill is able to pierce gold again. Just lost a loved one. For 10 years, I have long forgotten the emotional pain. Grim Reaper. Almost tears. Fortunately, Chu Chu who took care of him by his side. Gradually into the casual heart, and the wisdom of the world thousands of miles away. Because of the death of Kong Ci, Nie Feng's command to indulge himself all day long. Go to zero. Rough snow not to mention. This blood is uninhibited. Can add decades of skill. However, he would never have imagined. In fact, Xiong Ba's true intention is about to kill again. After a few days, he came down to Linyan Cave. He, traveling to Leshan with my father, flashed back in my mind pictures of the Buddha. Shortly later, West, he found his father's remains in Linyan Cave. Regrets and weapons. But who wants to just? Ni Feng, who got the trainer, was poisoned by his subordinates. Who knows that the other party is also the most winning? After a while, he was killed by a rocket in Linyan Cave. The poisoned Ni Feng had no choice but to try. I ate a drop of blood Bodhi. Who wants? But by mistake, he successfully quit the poison in his body. He first relied on his pure blood addiction. Fire kill in a frenzied sword war. However, this fire unicorn is a natural spirit after all. Very competitive. In this moment of life and death, he finally figured it out. Trick. Finally, I used the soldier platform next to Linyan Cave. Successfully killed the fire unicorn. And this is far away. Thousands of miles away. The world will be forbidden. Xiong Ba practice went wrong. Meridians reverse true feelings. Its part was discovered by Changshen when Shizhou on the side. Once upon a time, Buddha and I had no makeup. Success is also the situation, and defeat is also the situation. Text is also present. A suspicious tyrant. I can't help but fear that the other party may betray me. But of course it was extremely feeble. It's the day of the decisive battle with Jiancheng again. After relaxing a little, Xiong Ba found Qin Shuang. The promise will be passed on to him in the future. The position that the world will help. And let him quickly kill the mosquitoes and bugs. The next day Qin Shuang did as expected. They found the mosquito they wanted to talk about. But who knew that the other party was actually in the moment of life and death? Exposed Xiong Ba to Qin Shuang. A conspiracy to provoke Wind and Cloud too. He also took Qin Shuang to rescue Xiong Ba. The envy of being imprisoned for a long time. If the Juggernaut just came to challenge the next day. For a while the sun and the moon were eclipsed. Heaven and earth changed its face. Nipozo on his deathbed. Finally, like the Ni Feng who came, confessed that he has been a tyrant for many years. The bright moon with the wind and clouds. On the other side, Kensei and Xiong Ba. The decisive battle between Mount Tai and the Big Dipper in this martial arts forest. Finally, Hair Trigger, who wants a reputation at this moment. Returning Walking Cloud, also came to the world or under the foot of the mountain. Only one sword left. Relying on these nearly 23, although it is a heavy blow to Xiong Ba, but I have also reached the end of my humiliation. Touched inadvertently everywhere. After that, it will be late at night to the clouds. Under the foot of the mountain, the two reunited again. They decided to join forces against Xiong Ba. Ni Feng personally helped Bu Jingyun. Sent blood solids. increase power. The purpose is for the two to join forces to defeat Xiong Ba, a power in heaven. In the main hall at this time, Xiong Ba's heroic temperament is revealed. Smile to reveal Xiong Ba. The purpose of its frost was to be ambushed and killed by the other party. Fortunately, the two of them finally came to Xiong Ba, a showdown with it. The war finally begins. Lucky, relying on the unicorn arm, and Nie Feng relied on the blood-addicted knife in his hand. Monk hit the sword with one pillar. However, the kung fu of both of them was taught by Xiong Ba. In the end, it is not as good as your own master. Straightest student professor martial arts master is deliberately hiding. In fact, his own strongest skill is swordsmanship, and the fire spirit sword in Xiong Ba's hand is even more of a sword. Angry, no army at the last minute. With my own blood, reawaken the peerless sword forged by my father. This peerless and heroic sword cha. Xian's manic knife cha on the crooked frame. Why bother? Clouds have no phase, gather and disperse, are impermanent. The wind is invisible and ethereal. Finally gathered the strength of the two. Healy just defeated this tyrant, and the dying hero, finally struck by the illusion of evil deeds he created. After the defeat, two brothers were also repaired again. Celestial phenomenon changed by the fierce battle between Xiong Ba and Ekin Cheng. Finally back to normal. The setting sun on the horizon, standing in front of the world or the hall, look at each other. All worlds stay together. Sunny returns to the right path in the world. The background of the situation is built on a shady, a martial arts world of plots and lies. It seems like a simple polarization of good and evil, but it doesn't. Leng Yao estimates that the cloud is the Heedman. I have lamented the communication of many extinctions, and the unsurprising cloud in the comics. Also changeable. This kind of character setting also gives him the freedom to act recklessly. Take the opportunity to cook fish in manga. Otherwise, this has been serialized for 25 years. How can I continue to write so many chapters? Compared to the sins of non-elf sheet backs, something is wrong with the lunatic now. He has a gentle personality and doesn't want to hurt others. Indeed, with the charm and temperament of Zhenyu World in those years, he's standing over there. The movie has been a success, and among them, the purest and most naive is the heroine Kong Temple. If we judge by today's values, this Confucius will most likely be imbued with the title of popular. After all, not every woman cries out, no other men are allowed to touch it. I can be with you just like marrying him. But think about it. This Confucius was born in a world dominated by men. Maybe in his eyes, it's not really that easy to tell. What is love? Even the villain, in front of it. He was also a kind father most of the time. Even if you use Confucius to provoke the situation and then kill him by mistake, it's urine, it's grief. Even after the fact, they don't hesitate to track thousands of miles. Recover his body. The three senior brothers love him even more. I like him, he has 1,000 pets in one. Maybe not. Who do you belong to? Open it all he wants. He will be worried. We'll knock on the door. Because both handkerchiefs can be smug. Also get angry when the car steps on a stone. He was more like a baby or a toddler. Side love and hate based solely on your own preferences. Hear him. Destined not to be in the harbor. Live in this dark world. So the director let him die in the most beautiful years. He accidentally got the millennium my soul. Let his beauty live on forever. Hong Kong in 1998. Unload the whole machine Chongqing forest. Forget Carmen's delicate manners. Forget the panic of founding the ancient and confused boy department. Born in 1960, 38-year-old Li Yaoxiang has not changed his youthful chivalry. Situation in the second year. Killed the Hong Kong film market that is at a low ebb. In 1998, Li Yaoxiang led the way. In the blossoming 1990s, Zhangjiang list. Draw the dragon after all. He not only won the highest-grossing Hong Kong film of the year, it has won multiple technical awards in one fell swoop. Making digital computer special effects technology, 10 years of ice, feelings of the rivers and lakes that are hot-blooded and hard to cool. Many people say that Li Yaoxiang is a genius. He made what can be called the most popular film in society, a wide range of film series. Pistons after the millennium, he accidentally made another Hong Kong film, tribute to the peak of the police and bandits theme Infernal Affairs. It is also for the Hong Kong film market in the following decades. Reopened the Ghost, theme of the day. In the years that followed. If there is no undercover in the movie, I'm embarrassed to call it a cop movie. Later, he said he didn't have a choice before. Now he wants to be a good person. So he sent out a generation of gods. Uncle Jingyun, I am the wood. Thank you for choosing to spend time with me. If by fate, see you next time.